joined by Chase Elliott, driver of the number 9 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. We will go ahead and kick this off. Chase, pole winner, what's it mean to be up front starting this race on Sunday?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously we would rather have a, actual pole for sure, but, circumstances being, what they are, and fortunately our team has been performing at a really solid level over the past couple months, and the reality of it is that put us in a position to to have a good starting spot on a rainout situation. So that's that's just the reality of the weekend, and certainly we'll take a good starting spot, and more importantly take a really good pit pick there on pit road.
We'll go ahead and take some questions. We'll start down here with Holly and then go to Terrell.
Hi, Chase. Holly Kane with the NASCAR Wire Service. Could you just talk a little bit about leading the championship and kind of getting back in that groove that you've really established over the years?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel that our team has been in a good spot really all year. To be honest, I've been super happy with where we're at. Really happy with everything. In general, top to bottom, I feel like we're all in a good place. Feel like I'm in a good spot. With what I'm looking for in the car. I feel like Alan's in a good place with kind of knowing how to give me some of those things. And I think that for us, we've just got to continue to keep working down down those paths. And I think that we'd like to have a couple more wins, than we have right now. But at the same time, I've always been a believer that, if you're up front, you're putting yourself in position, and you're stringing together good finishes, you're going to have your opportunities. And I don't feel any different, about that now. I think we just got to keep doing what we're doing.
Go to Terrell and then Bob.
Terrell Covey of the Portsmouth Herald. Chase, you kind of touched on this, but championships a lot of times are won in the little moments, and the season that your team has put together to this point, getting you a good pit stall today and an up front starting spot at a track like this, how important are these little moments if you're going to get back to the top of the hill this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the way the bracket thing is that they do now is different than what it used to be. So you have to be really good in those last 10, and you've really got to be extraordinary in the last 3 or 4. And I think that it's a lot of it is just being having a solid enough base and a solid enough foundation to get you through those first 2 rounds without much problem if you just have solid days, and then really you want to be super good in those those last 3 or 4 weeks. And I think that we're capable of doing that. With where we're at right now, is just got to keep it rolling. I mean, we're only halfway through the year, so there's a lot of racing left, and a lot can change, a lot can happen. It can go your way or it can not, and ultimately it's up to us to to determine the direction that it goes.
We'll go to Bob.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. I don't imagine you look at points too closely, but did you take a second look if you saw that you were on top?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they told me there after the race, but yeah, it's nice to be leading the points. Obviously, like I just said, there's a lot of racing left. I think that we have room for improvement, still yet, and the reality of it was, Kyle had a misfortune, situation last weekend, so would like to just get into a position where we can just be better and get more points and so on and so forth. So that's where I'm at, and I think that there's still things we can do better, still things I can do better, bring in more pace and just trying to be a little quicker. And I think all those things are really right there for us in the in the taking. And hopefully we can add that to our foundation that we have right now, and I think we'll be all right, be in a good spot.
And I know you're not on social media much, but I don't know if you heard, but yesterday Christopher Bell said when Chase comes to JGR, and one of your teammates joked that you were headed to JGR. I'm curious, did any of your friends or family fall for it and ask you whether you were actually leaving?
If I was leaving? Yeah, I heard about that. It was funny. The boss actually sent me a message about another. I'm not sure who sent it to him, or whatever, but there's all kinds of stuff. He sent me this screenshot that I was leaving and going somewhere else and was going to own a team. So been all kinds of stuff evidently going on that I didn't know I was doing this week. So I guess I'm headed to go drive for JGR now too. So I don't think so. If I am, I didn't know about it. And but I felt bad for Bell. Such an honest mistake. You could tell it was such a genuine, like, he just slipped up, you know. So excited for Briscoe though. I mean, I think that'll be a really good opportunity for him, and hate that Bell was the one to break the news. I'm sure he got in trouble for that, but it's all good. It was going to come out eventually.
We'll come right down here in the front.
Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Just talk about the challenges this course presents.
Yeah, I think the toughest thing with Loudon always is just the amount of, or the lack of banking that it has, and the straightaways are really long. So trying to have your car in a position where you're just comfortable enough to get yourself in the corner is going to help you turn the middle and ultimately make the straightaway long on the backside. And I think that that's why it's tough. Is the corner entries are flat, the straightaways are long, you're going pretty fast. There's bumps into 3 that can be a little unsettling. So just finding that right balance and amount of comfort that you're looking for in your car is really important. So comfort in this car in general is hard to find, and when you do find it, it's worth its weight for sure. So that's what we're looking for.
We'll go down to Holly.
I had another question for you. I realize that it's still only midway through the season, but it's certainly looking like you and Kyle and William are going to be 3 of the guys really going for the regular season championship and probably the overall season championship. What is that like in terms of, are you guys still sharing everything? Are you still all kumbaya, or does there get to be a point where, you're like, well, we got to do this so that we can win it? What is that dynamic like?
Yeah, over the course of my time being there, nothing has ever changed. Whether we're racing, I've raced, Kyle and I have raced for a championship a couple times, I guess now at Phoenix, and I can say with a lot of confidence that our meetings have not ever changed, and how everyone talks, or the things that are discussed, or the information that's uploaded into our internal servers, and as far as setups and things of that nature, it's all very straightforward. It's all open book, and what you take and do with that from there is up to you. So, it's just important for us to try to lean on each other and ultimately take the information that you gather and try to do a better job with it.
Any final questions for Chase? We'll take one last one right here in the back.
Hi, Taylor Viles, ABC 22 News in Burlington, Vermont. With how difficult it is to pass here, how much confidence does it give you to start on the pole?
Certainly nicer to have the pit pick, though. I mean, to be honest, I always feel like the pit stall is more important than the starting spot, just because you live with the pit box all day. You're not, the odds of you leading 301 laps are slim to none. So, but you live with that box all day long, and that's something that can help you all the way. If get a late caution or whatever, and you're right there in the hunt, that can be the difference in you coming off pit road first or third. And I think that's a really important thing that we see every single weekend. So excited about that, and really I think it's a team effort that earned us that opportunity, right? And it wasn't a stellar lap on my end. It was just a solid effort from our group over the last 2 or 3 months to have us in a good position to take advantage of the circumstances today.
All right, Chase, thanks for your time. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.